This is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time from Andrew Patterson. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics or reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box under the video. And this is for the 1984 film Silent Night, Deadly Night. So get ready. I'm going to count down for those wanting to follow along. 3, 2, 1, pressing play now. I am watching the 1 hour, 25 minute, 14-second version, which I think is the uncut version, is a version on the Blu-ray. And little details like that is pretty cool. The splashing of the blood for Deadly Night. It definitely does play a lot into the Christmas spirit. It uses the holiday effectively. It's not just there for background. It's there in the music. It's there in the decorations. It's there in the guy wearing a Santa suit. It's there in the story with the psychological aspect of why Robert Brian Wilson's character Billy goes crazy because of what happened with his family, because they were murdered by someone in a Santa suit. Granted, he could just say, no, I'm not wearing it. Why? My parents died by a guy in a Santa suit. If he just told them that, things would have ended just fine and dandy, but there'd be no movie either. But at the same time, I don't know. Not too bad musical score. I didn't grow up with this film. This is not a film I grew up with. I mean, the slasher films I grew up with were more like Halloween 2, a couple of the Halloween films, Nightmare on Elm Street films mainly. I didn't see films like My Bloody Valentine and this one until much later in life, into I would say my late teens or my 20s. But I did not see these films. Charles Cillier, the director, Charles, sadly passed away, I think around 2011. He didn't do too many films after this. He did The Annihilators, that action film in the 80s about people coming back from Vietnam and their neighborhood is under siege and they protect their neighborhood. It's called The Annihilators. That's the only thing I recognize that he directed after this. But yeah, he didn't direct too many films afterward, and like I said, he sadly passed away in 2011. And the little baby becomes the star of Silent Night Deadly Night Part 2, which I do find it quite a bit fun. I know it's a lot of footage from this, but that's kind of why I like Silent Night Deadly Night Part 2, is because I watched the greatest hits portion of this, plus I watch Eric Freeman, so I kind of get the best of both worlds. I get all the good parts of this movie, and I get Eric Freeman garbage day, fun. So I mean, maybe because I didn't grow up with this, so this is not a favorite of mine, but I do like it. I do think it's a sincerely solid slasher film that actually tells a. That's the funny thing, is that when you compare it to even like Friday the 13th, this does tell a more serious, sincere story. Granted, crazy, but this actually delves more psychological into a story than, again, like Friday the 13th or other slasher films of its ilk. To actually give an actual reason as to why Billy becomes this way, why he turns into this. Gets scared by his grandpa who's in this mental hospital. His parents going through this horrible event with his parents. Him trying to be the best person he can and succumbing. Like, it's a buildup of story before you get to the slashing, which I find funny that so many critics, oh, there's no story in this. There's a story in this. There's quite a bit of story of this until you get to the slash in. And critics still bitched about it. So, like Siskel and Ebert saying, shame on you to the studio, director, shame on you, star, writer, shame on you. I'm like, okay, you guys like Speed 2 Cruise Control, shame on you for that. He gave Speed 2 Cruise Control 2 thumbs up. Shame on you for that shit. That's more egregious than anything this movie did. Now, I don't know the scene coming up with the grandpa, if we're meant to think this kid imagined it, or... I'm guessing not. I'm guessing grandpa just... I guess just wanted to scare the shit out of this kid. I mean, he's in a mental hospital for some reason. So I'm guessing that's what it is. He's like, I don't want to talk to him, I'll just talk to you. I thought the guy who played the grandpa, he did a good job for what he needs to be, where... And even the kid's not annoying or irritating. Steer his damn night of the year. Like, he's like, be scary, steer the shit out of this kid. I'd be scared too if I was you. You're about Santa Claus. No. I mean, his fucking vein is like a Highway 95. Just spreading everywhere and ready to pop out his head. They did nothing but naughty. All the other ones. All the naughty ones. He punishes. He's ready to go teary-eyed. This guy's acting his ass off in this scene. Like, his eyes are ready to tear up. Like, you buy this guy's insane motherfucker. You better run, boy. But it's one of those, like, weird, quirky scenes that makes the film memorable. It's not like Final Exam, which is forgettable as shit. Just insane. He's like, I'm gonna steer shit out of this boy, warn him. And when he's in this position, that's why it makes you go, did the boy imagine this? Did he not imagine this? Because he goes like in the same exact position with the arm and such. I think maybe that was on purpose. This is the boy's imagination running wild. I guess that's up to you, the viewer. But again, it's all these things get into... If the boy has that wild imagination of being steered, somehow steered to Santa, and then he sees this and it further fucks up his psychology, or the grandpa steered the shit out of him and now he's on edge, and then he sees this and that flips the switch and then some. I mean, that's the thing, like, technically Silent Deadly Night is a much better made movie than the sequel. The sequel was just more enjoyable for its batshitness. Batshit craziness, I should say. So, I mean, I know that doesn't make sense, but sometimes, even if a movie is not as well made, sometimes it can be more entertaining. And the kid is, I mean, he's given these lines, but he's trying to be as sincere as possible with the material he's given. Mom. But the sequel is so weird. Like, this scene here is in a movie that the guy's watching in Silent Deadly Night Part 2. It's like, well, wait a minute. This is a scene from the first movie, but supposedly this happened in his life. And it's just a weird conglomeration of stuff. Also, like, he remembers everything when he's a little baby, Eric Freeman. He's like, is he even 1 year old? Decent blood squib. Another decent blood squib. Ooh, that's a nice headshot, especially the blood dripping down. Ooh. I'm watching the I believe the uncut version, in the 1 hour 25 minute 14-second cut, and I'm 10 minutes and 8 seconds in. But see, it actually does. I didn't. How many times do critics complain they never build up a story? This is building up a story, and they're still not good for them. What more did the movie need to do? It was a slasher film. That was the problem. And if it's not Halloween, which I like Halloween, I think it's a classic. But if it's not Halloween, then they won't praise a slasher film, especially this time. But this is when the attack happens. But here's the thing: that in this timeline, 1984, for what I understand, this came out the same weekend as A Nightmare on Elm Street, and in fact, it was making more money than A Nightmare on Elm Street. But with the controversy, they had commercials where, in the commercials, it was a guy dressed as Santa, but it seemed like Santa was telling people. It was playing during football games, and parents are there with their kids, and the kids are scared. Is it Santa? Is Santa going to kill us? And the parents got pissed, and they protested the theaters and said, get rid of this fucking movie. Get rid of this fucking film. And around 2 weeks later, they did. TriStar, who released this, took it out of theaters. Apparently, it was, I don't know, 20 million more it would have made if it stayed in theaters. At least in the long run. Which is true. In the long run, it probably would have made a lot more money and would have been a big hit for the studio, but they took it out. They should not have taken it out of theaters. I think that was a mistake. Because you give them the power to be like, well, we could do this. We could do this for any movie. Which, I'm sorry, it's an R-rated film. Deadly is in the title. Parents, act like a fucking parent. Make shit up. You're making shit up anyway with Santa being real. Make something else up. Oh, no, honey, that's an imposter. No, honey, that's a fake. No, honey, that's not real. That's what you do. You act like a fucking parent. You teach your kids right and wrong. You teach your kids what's real and what's not. No wonder kids get so fucked up, because you don't do what a fucking parent's supposed to do. I gotta say, this kid handled it fairly well. He's not streaming. He's not. He's doing the best that he can with all the crazy shit going on. And all these establishing shots of the area. Again, it does take a... It actually does a build-up of story. But again, something that critics complain about. I keep harping on that, because there's no story, there's no character. They actually do build up the character in this. They build up then his... What psychological... Like, this did it better than fucking Rob Zombie's Halloween tried to do. How does this person become a psycho? Rob Zombie's Halloween was just a piece of shit. This actually does a decent enough job. It doesn't hit just the typical points either. It's rather unique in what it's doing. But that goes with all these people. Like, do none of these people fucking realize that his parents were killed by someone with Santa outfit? Santa's evil. He killed my parents. Like, no one gets that concept in this fucking universe. A person in a Santa suit killed my parents. Like, did he tell anybody that? I think they talk about it here. Proof. She gets it. Because you gotta have someone be a fucking idiot. Otherwise, you know. But at least there's someone who has common sense. What do you mean he knows nothing about? He fucking saw it. Yeah, she knows. But sadly, I mean, you have a lot of stupid people in the world. But at least you incorporate someone who actually does have common sense. So at least there's some type of person there who's like, oh well, like, she knows what she's doing. The actress who plays Mother Superior, I recognize her. This lady here. She was in Predator 2. She's the scientist looked at the Predator weapon. Oh, this thing has no weight. Oh, I did nothing on from the periodic table. She's looking at the weapon that Danny Glover found and analyzing it in the computer. She's been in other stuff too, but yeah, she was in Predator 2. I remember the most from that. I think this girl means well, but the kid needs a psychiatrist, not a fucking, not this place. But this is a time when in slasher films, of course, Friday the 13th was a big hit, and then you had from 1980 to 1984 such a huge flux of slasher films. You had, you know, Black Christmas and Halloween led to Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th led to Terror Train, My Bloody Valentine, Prom Night, The Final Terror, Don't Go in the Woods, just litany and gluttony of slasher films. A lot in that time. You know, there was Fatal Games, there was Silent Madness. Silent Madness, I'm trying to remember what year that came out actually. Was that this year or a year after? Pretty much a slasher film every week would come out. And a lot of them, you know, try to have death scenes and sex scenes and all sorts of stuff. Which nowadays, if you do a slasher film, you can't even have sex scenes because it's too misogynistic. It's too, whatever. Because I didn't think about it. Even if they do slasher films, you don't see sex. You don't really see sex scenes anymore. And yeah, this is a sex scene, but it's again telling part of the story of the psychological aspect of this guy. How Santa treated his mom, and then he sees this, and sees punishment. That's bad. They need to be punished. Look how Mother Superior is punishing them. So that even gets more into the sex is punishment type of thing. But again, he didn't do anything. But again, it's one of those you feel sorry for the kid. But again, you have to go into these certain events because it's all about, number one, feeling sorry for Billy, which I would think a lot of people do feel sorry for the character. Number two, showing this combination of punishment, Christmas, punishment, the religious aspect, all this stuff that delve deeper into the psychology of this character. And the acting's pretty good for a slash film as well. Again, the lady who plays Mother Superior. Bitch, speak up. You said I wanted him out of the room. It's your fault. You're the one who should be whipped. So I don't, fuck that character too. She could have spoke up. Put your foot down going, no. You're not whipping him because I said he could come out. So fuck that character. Fuck that bitch. I take back what I said. Fuck that other. I want none of that. I mean, I know you're a lady, but grow a pair of balls, trans testicles, and speak up and say, no, I told him he could leave the room. But I would say you're a pussy, but you got one. You already have a pussy, so it'd be redundant. She should come in and he should cuss her out. See, I fucking told you I could leave. She should go in and apologize to him. But she doesn't, so fuck her too. But yeah, this is the time we had Nightmare on Elm Street. I think Silent Scream had come out before that. Silent Madness. I think Silent Madness was 84. I can't remember. But it was around 84, 85. Again, this is the same weekend Nightmare on Elm Street came out. Around 85, slasher films were kind of petering out in terms of box office. By 85, 86, there were still some being made, but not as prevalent. Because when you have so many coming out, there are people that get tired of it. It's like superhero films nowadays. I'm sick and tired of superhero films and comic book films, and there's still some I like. I like the new Suicide Squad. I'm just so sick of it, and I know I'm not alone, because I've read a lot of people's comments, they're sick of it as well. I mean, you're just as fucking guilty as well. By association, you don't do anything about it. Or quit. I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit there and have a little kid get tied up to a fucking bed. So fuck you, bitch. Yeah, you put your head down as much as you want. You go walk off a pier, walk into a fridge and live there until, 10 hours go by and you're stiff as a TV dinner. I don't give a shit. But again, it's all part of the psychological breakdown of this kid. If he got proper help, psychologists, maybe he could get better. But no, this just made things worse. It also helps in the story that he hides this facade of being, I have to hide, I cannot be naughty, I must do this and this. And then it just builds up until they can't take it anymore. Can't take it anymore. And at least in the story, they do make an actual payoff where he wants to go back and kill Mother Superior who helped get revenge on the person who elevated that trauma. Did not deter it, but that granted they don't kill off her character. Technically they kill her off in the sequel, but it's not played by the same actress, so it doesn't have the same effect. But I guess, they didn't want to kill a nun. I guess they figured, well, we got all this Christmas stuff going on, we can't kill a nun on top of that. That's a good hook. I mean, that's a good punch. You knock the guy the fuck out. That's a good punch from a little kid. That's a good punch. Bloody his nose. Everything. Again, it's like, leave the kid alone. But that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to build up a story to make us feel bad, feel pity for this character. I think they do an effective job. Again, 25 minutes. 25 minutes. And now we're getting to the modern time. A 25-minute build-up. Think about that. In an hour and 25-minute movie. And then this is like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something? 15 minutes? This guy, I swear I've seen him in other stuff. I can't remember. But yeah, I swear I've seen him in other stuff. Damn, this is... Guys in Love. I thought this actor did a good job. I mean, sadly, he didn't do a lot of work afterward, but the guy who plays Billy, I thought he did a decent enough job. Here's, you have this song, The Warm Side of the Door. Wait, I don't know if I could play the song. This sounds like something that'd be in a Folgers coffee commercial. It does. It's like this song plays in a commercial, and after it, with Folgers in your cup, that'll be the next commercial. And you're just showing them, or like an after-school special. This is like how everything's great until you get the bad car accident because of that alcohol driving. Alcohol, drunk driving's business. I don't even know if people know what the fuck after-school special even means anymore. Because they don't really do that. There's like these specials, like you would get home from school, and around that time there was this fucking bit of business. The badness of, again, drunk driving, some other tidbits going on. Again, I gotta say, this nun, this female nun, she's an idiot too. Well, they're all females. Well, all the nuns are females. What am I talking about? Is there a male nun? All the female nuns. It's like all the female... Well, I mean, there are male cheerleaders. So maybe there are male nuns. Maybe. Again, with the way the world is today, maybe there are male nuns. Is that called priest? Well, I mean, again, there's male cheerleaders. But, you know what happened to this guy? Why would he get him a job at a toy store? Get him a job at McDonald's. Get him a job at a fast food place. Get him a job at any amount of hardware. Ace Hardware. Get him a job at construction. Get him a job at cleaning. And he cleans like the bank. Get him a job at the bank. He's a janitor. Like the job is we're going to put you in a toy store during Christmas. Again, like no one's thinking clearly, obviously, about the situation. Like that nun is a fucking idiot too. Dude, don't act tough. The guy's like 2 feet taller than you. This little munchkin trying to act so fucking tough, high and mighty. But again, I mean, also the fact that they had a bit of business of showcasing he's a good worker, he means well, he doesn't even drink on the job, he drinks milk, he means well. I mean, and the actor is not overdoing it. He's not over, how do I put it? He's not being over the top. Look how crazy I am, and he's, just being more subtle than other actors would partake in this role. I'm not saying he deserves an Academy Award nomination, but for what he's given to do, he's doing a decent job. The hell's this? I mean, I know what it is, naked bodies, but oh, he's like picturing himself with her. Because you remember the scene back in the day. He probably hasn't had a girl in all these years. So he sees this other girl picturing himself with her. Like anybody else, wants to get laid, but then the naughty business comes into play. I guess all this psychological stuff happening. There you go. Again, like compared to a lot of other slasher films, there's a bit more story going on in this. But then critics don't want to say anything. It got, you know, picketed. It got punished. It got taken out 2 weeks, and but it definitely made enough money on video to have a sequel, which I did mostly footage from this. Then you have Eric Freeman. Now that's some, like, this acting is sincerely decent. Eric Freeman's acting in the sequel is fun for the wrong reasons, but it damn is entertaining. Hey, how's it going? My name is Eric Freeman. It's garbage day. Blue. Great point, Doc. It's just hypnotizing. Hypnotized. But I do like the sequel for that reason. The third film is awful. The third film is Bill Moseley with this toy on his head that's supposed to be his brain in this gizmo. And it's insanely boring, dull, slow pace, slow as molasses. Nothing happens, and the girl's psychic, but she's so goddamn psychic she doesn't know when anything's happening, so everyone else dies except her, pretty much. And it's supposed to be a sequel to the second film, I guess, but then it's just a horrible fucking film. Part 4 is a weird anomaly because it has no connection with the other films. It's not even about a guy in a Santa suit. It's about it's Brian Yuzna, so it's trying to be body horror, like society reanimator, like creature. I don't know what the hell it was trying to do. And then Silent Deadly Night 5, I think that movie was just called The Toy Maker. But then, hey, Silent Deadly Night sells. Superman, look, Superman was disapproving. There's Superman costume to the right in the previous bit. He just staring. Why does no one talk to anybody saying, yeah, my parents were killed by a guy in a Santa suit? If I'm a boss and you tell me, I'm like, yeah, I won't put you in the Santa suit. But no one would communicate. This movie symbolizes how important communication is. This is how important communication is. Communication is important. But if communication... Good, steer the shit out of that kid. Good. Kid's being a fucking brat. Yeah, don't be a fucking brat, kid. Punch the shit out of him. And this guy's so oblivious, just smiling. Again, break down communication. No one communicates with anybody else going, yeah, again, his parents were killed by a guy in a Santa suit. Oh. Okay. And then this lady's like, you have this fucking derp look on your face, but you don't do anything about it. You just sit there. That's the thing. It's like back in the day, you did nothing. You just disapprove look on your face, but you do nothing. You accomplish nothing. You do none thing. Nothing. None shit. I'm just gonna sit here and do something, bitch. I don't give a fuck she's a nun. She ain't got nun class. None common sense. I take back what I said. She has no common sense. I take back what the fuck I said. It's been a while since I've seen this movie. She pisses me off more than Mother Superior. At least Mother Superior, she's honest about her motives. This other nun is full of shit. And even then, at least they don't do it like in 5 seconds, boom, he's crazy. After he puts on that suit. They build up to that too. So it's not just boom, he's crazy. He's getting there. But again, they actually do a build up to it. Because the second half is going to be the payoff of him slaying everybody. But at least you did a payoff to it. Yes, there are dumb people doing dumb things, but like the store owner doesn't know it. Buzz Superior has a weird way of discipline. I mean, the one dumb bitch is that one nun. I forget her name. The younger nun who's supposed to be like the good one. She's the worst one. I didn't go there and say, let me help him out, let's stop it, don't do this. His parents died because of this, so don't put him in a Santa suit. Does nothing at all about it. Sorry, I'm listening to the dialogue. So he knows his parents died. But I guess he doesn't know how. And he's like, what? You remember what Santa Claus does on Christmas Eve, do you? In his warped mind, better get started. It's like playing into the... In his mind, Santa punishes the wicked. Go get him, Santa. Go get him. I mean, the guy pretty much like giving him the thumbs up to do what Santa does. And in his mind, Santa kills and murders because his grandpa told him. He saw Santa kill his mom and dad and almost rape his mom. Then all the psychological punishment thesis embedded into his brain. But I say it does utilize the Christmas element well. It's, again, the decorations, the toy store. Again, that's like the worst place for the guy to work at, but... So again, the worst culprit is the nun. Because these folks, I'm guessing, don't know the details. Yeah. Yeah, in the 80s, when he got to the mid-80s, kind of after this year, 84, slasher films started dying down a bit because... I'll try to think what you had slasher films in 85, 86. You had like Friday the 13th sequels. You had Elm Street sequels. Hellraiser was 87. But just not as prominent as the first 4 years of the 80s. And like, again, Elm Street and Hellraiser, they were definitely a different sort. Fantasy, very much laced into it. More special effects. Monsters. But the person, like a regular person with an axe or a knife, would go on kind of by the wayside. April Fool's Day, which was an interesting take because it was mystery and comedic. And, well, if you know the twist ending, you know what I mean. Definitely more unique, and that's what I love about April Fool's Day. I love that film. I have it right there. And then by the time you get to like 88, 89, you had films like Cutting Class with Brad Pitt, which wasn't really much to run home about. Other than, oh wow, Brad Pitt in a very early role. And then when you got into the 90s, it was either the swan song of slasher villains like Halloween 6 and Jason Goes to Hell and Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Or it was a quirky film like Dr. Diggles, Candyman. But again, just not as prominent slasher film-wise as the early 80s. Until Scream came out. And then when Scream came out, that changed it with a different type of slasher. Urban Legend, I know he did last summer. Cherry Falls. There's one called The Clown at Midnight. All this stuff here. Now this was, again, all interesting that his breakdown is in like a vigilante sort at first. At least flashes about what happened. Again, he didn't just go in there and kill them. It was, oh, this guy who we've touted as an asshole tries to attack this girl. Which reminds him of this other attack. Again, they don't go too quick into making him crazy. It's this step ladder. You take each step, you don't slip and fall. So, instead of, wow, that was quick, or wow, that was out of the blue, or wow, that was... No, it's like... I get it. Not that, oh, I would do that. No, not at all. Idea is like, I get his psychological breakdown. You made the breakdown make sense in his sad, tragic upbringing. And that smile pretty much showcases that he's all, he went to the park, he's not coming back. He took the shuttle, he went off the planet. His he took a break from sanity. And there you go. I will notice in this Blu-ray there are times that the picture quality is very not up to par. I'm guessing that's the extended footage. And I guess there was no way to clean that up. Because I'm watching the Blu-ray from Stream Factory, and yeah, I noticed there's a downgrade in quality, like in that scene before. I mean, he killed the guy because the guy was ready to rape her. And he's even talking, I had to stop him, Pamela. Although I'm like, Pamela, he did try to rape you. I did. You just saw a guy kill someone. But at the same time, he did try to rape you. He didn't... He did try to rape you. And I think that's pretty much you take something and the edge is not on it and you just have like a blood tube. I imagine going up like this. Okay, imagine going up like this and you just have like a blood tube so the blood goes down as if you're cutting up. And there's definitely some features on the Blu-ray. There's a documentary that's lengthy. There's a commentary. Let's see. I don't want to mess it up. I think I can... Yeah. There's Sleigh Bells, the story of Silent Daily Night. There's interview of Linnea Quigley, who pop up later. There's Locations, Then and Now. There's an audio interview with the director from back in the day. I think that's the one with Dead Pit guys who interviewed him, I believe. I could be wrong. Two guys, CT and Uncle Bill. I could be wrong. There might be another interview. So don't quote me on that. But, on a side note, it sucks that Sean Clark doesn't do the... He would be willing to do the Horse Hollow Grounds, is that they don't go for Sean Clark. Which is a funny... we did a hammer... There you go. Grab more of a cutaway. But now he's on this murder spree. Now, technically, if it's to punish people, I don't know what he did to invoke punishment. Like, what the shop... Like, okay, if his motive is to punish people, what did the shopkeeper do to elicit punishment? You know what I mean? So, maybe it's just that he's so far gone, he'll just kill anybody in between. But yeah, if anyone who... Yeah, I like the film, but for anyone who's like, this is their favorite film ever, maybe they can explain that to me. Again, like, what if it's his goal is to specifically punish people for their misdeeds? What did the guy do to invoke punishment with a hammer? I think, yeah, they show it's in the head, right? Yeah, that's a cool effect. After effect. Back in the day when you had practical effects. Back in the day when you had this type of stuff. No CGI additions or filters. Oh, you did a little bit of axe action. Yeah, you didn't get into that phone. Never mind, yeah, you did. Shows how much I've seen this movie. Don't just stand there, lady. Run. like your ass is on fire. Run like your ass is on fire. Run like your ass is on fire. But yeah, I liked all these cutaways to the Christmas stuff. It gives a bit more, not only of just that Christmas feel, but the dreading atmosphere of, you have these sweet toys, but they're witnessing this carnage, so to speak. Again, we're what? 50 minutes in for the carnage to start. I mean, technically a couple minutes before, but still. And again, this is only an hour and 25 minutes. That's with the end credits, so... But that's also because you only have like 30 minutes of this portion. Fair. But they just don't seem the same. I mean, I like Malignant, and in a way, Malignant is a slasher film. Malignant is kind of like a giallo slasher mixed in with Basti Case, which I liked, and I thought it was a very unique film, and I really enjoyed Malignant, but not a lot of people did, but I loved Malignant. I mean, Willy's Wonderland is kind of a slasher. Well, man, I shouldn't say that, but good bow and arrow. Yeah. So this is showing more that Dead Body would be in an uncut version, and that's why this quality is not as HD. And that's funny, like the toy Santa's looking down. Look what you did, my boy. Look what you did. You John Rambo, you did that bow and arrow. You're good at shit. The toys disapprove. Why do you come now, this lady? I mean, I guess to be fair, it probably took her a while to get there. It's not like she probably doesn't live 5 minutes away, I guess. But how long did it like, how far is it away? Because he gets to the Mother Superior on foot. That's the thing, he gets there like on foot, doesn't he? But then, like, I don't think he drives a car or anything. But it took her this long to get from the phone call to here? Like, it was daytime, I think, with the kids, and now it's nighttime, closing time. But again, he can... I guess by the time he gets there on foot, it's like daytime again. But I'm just like, I don't know. Linnea Quigley. A lady who is open to getting naked, and I'm glad for that. A pool table that's not a comfortable fucking position, though. A pool table. Plus, you'd be worried it would break. And it'd go... Like, get on a bed. A bed's much more comfy. Get on this bed. Linnea Quigley, please, get on this bed. Titties! I miss titties in movies. I mean, technically, you just see titties anytime with the internet, but I just mean, like, in new movies, we can't see titties. That's misogynistic. Yes, I'm a guy. I like titties. I like the tatas. I like the mangoes. I like the strawberries. I like the oranges. I like the melons. I like the Fruit Loops. I like the pastry tasties. I like the jambalayas. I like the goosher squirts. I like the marshmallow bongos. I like it. Love it. We're guys. We think women are pretty. At least some. And there's guys who think guys are pretty. To each their own. But yes, there's many guys who like women who are pretty. I know that's for some reason like against the law. You are very pretty. You are canceled. Fine, you're an ugly fucking duckling fuck. Okay, does that make you feel better? You're an ugly bitch. Would that make you feel better? You're a very sexy lady. You're very beautiful. You're canceled. Fine. You look like a burnt drumstick. A burnt drumstick stuck in a fucking vat of KFC. I mean, just don't say nothing. Fine. God forbid trying to meet someone then. She's got like the Daisy Dukes shorts on too. Then back in the day, you just have a woman with titties out. And those are Daisy Dukes riding up the crack. The Hershey Highway of Love. You got the shade before you go out there, and I don't mean your legs. But this is where you get the antler impalement, which is a very creative death. I can't think of another movie that has done that. Where, well, I mean, technically, I guess the Lost Boys, Kiefer Sutherland's vampire gets put into antlers impalement, I believe. Been a while since I've seen the Lost Boys, so that's a good axe throw. Where the hell did you learn that from? That's not easy to throw an axe and bed in a wall. Where the hell did you learn that? Did you do that in an orphanage, Catholic, axe throwing competitions? I'm just gonna throw my axe, so I don't get whipped by Mother Superior. It'd be like that Friday the 13th Part 5, where the guy gets an axe, and then just chops the one guy up at the beginning of A New Beginning. I think this is extended. Punish. Yeah, I think that, yeah, you didn't see this bit here with the coming out. It was all, yeah, you didn't see that. You tell the quality's lesser. Because you just saw it through shadows. But that's a very inventive death. So that's why Rudolph has a red nose. All the blood from Linnea Quigley's body. Plugged it up. They sniffed all her blood. Tried to motorboat. Sadly, there's blood in there. Hey, Rudolph tried to bury it so deep, the blood just stayed in there and became a red nose. So Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. If you want to know where that came from, Linnea Quigley's titties. Sally Bloody. I don't want the bloody titties. I want the nice creamy titties. But, you know, it's Billy. It's Billy's fault. Billy. It takes him this long to see this. Like, how big is his room? Like, when he went up the stairs, well, I guess, there he goes. He goes to another room. He turns the corner there. Dude, he's looking. When he went into the room, he would have seen that. The thing is this big. As soon as you turn, you would see it peripherally. Like, that's a bit weird. It's like, come on, dude, don't be a pussy. Beat him up. Kick his ass. He looks like a slim Billy Zabka. This other guy, like Billy Zabka's kid brother or something. There you go. You hit him right in the head. Keep going. Keep going. What are you doing? Bash his fucking brains in. Why am I talking to the movie as if the movie will listen to me? I'm talking to the movie as if it'll change. Kick him in the nuts. Kick him in the balls. Kick him in the fucking balls, man. There you go. But does he throw him right out the window? Yeah. Take his shirt off first. There he goes. This scene I remember being one of the more interesting scenes coming up of the little girl, where he does have this weird code, fucked up code, but where he only punishes naughty. That's why I'm like, okay, if this, like, what did the toy, like I said, the toy store manager, what did he do that was naughty? Maybe drinking? But here it's like, this girl did a good job too. Again, this is an interesting scene because, again, he does follow, like I said, this weird code of he only punches the naughty. I think I like her look of just confusion, and they don't screw it up by. It's just this look is all you need. Like, you didn't need dialogue to ruin it. Just have a reaction. Don't overstate it. Don't ever do a fucking joke monologue, wannabe Saturday Night Live skit. Don't have her like talk for 85, seconds more bullshit. Just this like, that's all you need. Sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes that's all you need. I forgot you had a big piece of glass in them. The body that was thrown out the window. I forgot that. But I'm trying to think, yeah, there's been other Christmas horror films. I mean, oh yeah, this is where they have the fake Santa Daddy. This is kind of a funny bit of business. I can understand what the cops are doing though. Like you're told to apprehend a Santa. You see a guy go into a window. It's the little girl's reaction. Going, Daddy. I think it's the little girl's reaction that cracked me up on it. But that was, I mean, little scenes like, I mean, this movie, hour and 25 minutes. Doesn't overstay its welcome. It's not 80, I was going to say, it's not 80 minutes. Yeah, it is. There are movies I think they just, it's an hour and 50-minute movie when it only need to be an hour and 20-minute movie. It's a 2-hour movie that could take 15 minutes out. Or it's 2.5 hours. Or it's 3 hours. There's so many movies now that just overstuff itself and go, everything is crucial. We can't cut this out. It's like, yeah, you can. I think there are a lot of people that have lost the idea of editing. That, again, not everything need. There are some things that maybe you like the scene, but doesn't always need to work for the final picture. But yeah, there are other Christmas horror films. I mean, there's Christmas Evil, which is not really a... In a way, it's not really a horror film. It's more like Taxi Driver, where that's even more of a psychological story about a guy who... He wants to... It's like he desperately wants to be Santa Claus. And... But if you don't want to think it's going to be like a body count slasher, you're going to be very disappointed. But it's a decent character, almost like a character story type of movie. Christmas Evil. But if you don't want to think it's going to be a bloody slasher film, you're going to be tremendously disappointed. You really are. You're going to be like, what the fuck? It's not that. It's not that at all. Gremlins, in a way, is a horror Christmas movie. Gremlins is great. It's not horror, but I always mention Scrooge because Scrooge with Bill Murray I love. But it's not a horror film. I guess people say there's horror elements with the as much as a Scrooge story has with the death Christmas future element. But there's like To All Good Night, which I thought was a lame slasher. I reviewed that on the channel. I forgot I reviewed that. I had to look it up again. To All Good Night has a good poster, although it looks like an alien's taking over or a ghost is taking over. Like if you look at the poster of To All Good Night, which is directed by David Hess, the guy who starred in Last House on the Left, the original, that's it's a good poster idea. It looks like an alien or a ghost is taking over a school, but it's not. It's like a guy who also in a Santa suit. But there's a point that someone hides in a fucking suit of armor. Someone hides in like a suit of armor as if it was fucking Scooby-Doo shit. It just... Maybe there's a couple okay kills, but altogether... This movie's a lot better than To All Good Night. To All Good Night was very boring. Boring story. Boring characters. The kills, it's not worth it for that. You could probably watch a trailer for the kills and you get all you want. At least these guys you don't feel too bad because they're assholes that stole the sleds. So it makes you wonder if he watched all this and it's like that's why he's going to punish these guys. It's the second one. Because it did the way he jumps out. Punish! Recap the decap. That'll be coming up in a bit. So I'm kind of waiting for that. But yeah, Christmas horror, Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg, that's silly for what it is. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's a little... I don't think it's as bad as people made it out to be. But it's not like a favorite. Here, don't punish. Naughty. Boom. Slide down the sled with no head. Retap the decap. The decapathon is going on. You need a little head? There's no way to get ahead in life. Yeah, a little bit of that was extended. The aftermath. That fade out is a little bit jarring. It makes me wonder if there was something else more to that scene in between. Just like, did he kill the other guy? Did he kill the second guy? Did he do something else? But, and now it's daytime, too. Now it's daytime. So, I don't know, it made me wonder if... they never touched on it, but if there was something in between or just always meant for that to happen. But I'm trying the other Christmas horror. Like, To All Good Night I wasn't a fan of. Don't Open Till Christmas I thought was rather lame. It was lame because that was a film that wasn't finished. And that came out around... I forget what year. But Don't Open Till Christmas was a film that had a lot of production problems. And even, like, the director... like who's kind of the star, he left, and so his character kind of disappears, and then you have like this weird ending where he has nothing to do with finale, then he pops back up, he opens a present, then he dies. I'm like, what the fuck? Again, you might as well think of it as a film that wasn't finished. Don't Open Till Christmas. God, I'm trying to think of... Oh, of course, this had a remake, Silent Night, which I don't know, the remake... I much prefer this one. Because I thought this one... You know, I thought the story works. I think it's not that badly directed. I mean, it doesn't have swooping cameras and style, but I thought it was competent. It moved along at a good pace. It's not boring. And... I think he had another guy... From what I heard, he had another guy direct the gore scenes, because he's not really into gore bits. Is that Miss Piggy? On the right, yes, Miss Piggy. Someone has a Miss Piggy toy. You have to find a reason why they can't call. She seems much looser here than she was back in the day, by I guess 10 years. Maybe the PC police came for her. I'm just laughing because I still all that controversy. And for a slasher film that, I mean, this is nothing compared to a Serbian film, The Human Centipede, Inside. Inside was a film about a pregnant woman being chased around a house by a crazy bitch, and it ends with the pregnant woman getting killed, getting her belly sliced open, and the crazy bitch pulls the baby out. I think the baby's alive. I don't remember, and I wasn't a fan of that film. I'm not a fan of The Human Centipede. I fucking despise a Serbian film. I think a Serbian film to me is one of the worst films of all time. I'm sorry. I don't think that's a film. I think that's like Two Girls, One Cup. If that's a film, then Two Girls, One Cup is a film. Oh yeah, this is a fake out. Which I wonder if people were fooled the first time they saw this on... Maybe not, because you never saw an up close, and also with the cop being here, you're like, okay, no, there's something more to it than this. And we already had one Fate Santa. Cop shooting the wrong person. Wow. That's a... But not even like a warning shot. Not like a shot in the leg. Not even like a warning shot like to the leg. Ricky, the brother of Billy. Ricky, the guy who would be Santa, the killer in part 2. Naughty. Shot the wrong motherfucker. So I'm listening to the dialogue. So the cop shot a deaf guy. I didn't realize that. The one Santa didn't stop because he was a deaf guy. So the fucking cop shot a deaf guy to death. That's not funny. I'm like, oh my god. He shot a deaf guy. I don't know. I didn't realize that the guy was deaf. Although I will say the cop doesn't seem that broken up about it. Well, I mean, just to be fair, he's not like, I mean, what do you expect? Do you want the guy to sit there and cry? And he's not like all smiles and every's hokey dokey. So, I mean, I guess to be fair, plus he thinks a murder is on the way. So, I guess in truthfulness, what more can you do with the character? A murder's on the way. Do you really want a cop to stand there and go, I'm sure later he would, but he killed the wrong guy, and now in a way he's gonna be punished for it. In a way. I love that. Like, not at all as his brother William. Oh, believe me, Ricky's gonna be Eric Freeman, so. I mean, Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, again, I understand the critiques on it. Trust me, I do, but it's fun. Just, and you get the high points of this movie, and then Eric Freeman's, it's like watching two movies at one. You don't have to watch Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2. You just watch Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. Then you get the best parts of 1, and then you get this. Then you two for the price of 1. But back then I did like, well, I saw the first one, and it was lazy. It was pure laziness. I will say this scene goes on a bit too long, this whole suspense scene. I get what they're doing, but he goes around the corner, then I think he goes down the stairs, and then he goes up the stairs, and then yeah, he goes in there, and then he goes down, then he goes up, and then I get what they're doing. It just to build suspense, but I don't know, just felt like it went on a bit too long, but maybe that's just me. Yeah, I think he goes all the way down, and then it's when he goes all the way up and he's killed outside. I'm trying to think, does he go inside as well? Yeah, does he go inside here and look? Or no? Or I think, or does he go back up? Okay, he does go inside. See, this is like he all the way down. He's going all the way in here. But yeah, I get what the director was trying to do. You assume he's going to be killed in here. The thing is, you know he's going to die. It's the matter when. That's what a lot of times with suspense. You know something's going to happen. It's when it's going to happen. Again, I just thought this scene kind of went on a bit too long. But again, that's just me. But yeah, like I said, I do enjoy the film. I do like it for what it is. I do think it's one of the better slashers of its time. Again, all the complaints, yeah, I've said it like 10 times. Yeah, she does try to build suspense. It's trying to make you calm and everything's fine, and then this axe comes in. There you go. Someone need to get that axe in the chest. There you go. The axe needed to go in someone. I mean, he detaps one, but you need to just go in right in the chest. I like that's a good shot there. Like to have the axe dripping blood. That's a nice little bit there. I did all the Christmas decorations, all the stuff here and there. And yeah, and it's like the kid doesn't know better. He thinks it's Santa Claus. Then they don't understand. Yeah, Santa Claus. I didn't... Oh, the kid in the background, Ricky, he's definitely excited. But wouldn't he recognize that's his brother? Like, hey, Ricky. Hey, Billy. Yeah, he would recognize that's his brother. You would think. And none of his face is shown. I will admit, there's a part of me that wanted him to chop her head in two. But nah. You don't want to, that's what the villain wants. Don't give the villain what he wants. Otherwise the villain would win. And it's, she doesn't get her comeuppance. Technically in the sequel, but it is played by a different actress, so it does have the same effect. And that one line, it kind of like he kind of knew what he became. Again, a certain sense of sadness to it. And of course, Ricky here, which will become Eric Freeman. I do like I thought the kid did a good job here. Naughty. And the cycle starts again. Silent night, deadly night. But yeah, I mean, with the end credits, it's an hour and 23 minutes. Go in, go out, doesn't take too much of your time. You got some good kills. Actually a decent fucking story. A decent build, chasing, sympathy for this guy. Tragedy of this guy. It utilizes, because there's films that don't utilize the holiday at all. That's a Christmas movie, really? Or that's that? This utilizes it very well. The score is subtle until it doesn't. Except like that sting at the end works for that moment. That's why a lot of the other pieces of the score is subtle. So those moments come in, they become more. They stand out more in the right way. And Robert Brian Wilson did a decent job as Billy. Lillian Chauvin as Mother Superior. Again, she was in Predator 2, among others. The cast was fine. I have no issues with the cast. So Ricky was 14. Yeah, I think one of the titles that's supposed to be was Sleigh Ride. Slay. Which is funny because that's the name of the fake movie and Ernest Saves Christmas. where the guy's like, I'm making a horror film? Yes, it's Slay, S-L-A-Y. But yeah, the film didn't deserve all the bullshit that happened with it. It's a good slasher film. Like I say, if you like slasher films, if you like this kind of movie, it's definitely worth it. And if you like the film, the Blu-ray is worth it. Because again, the go into it, like the making of is 45 minutes long. The interview with Linnea Quigley is 21 minutes long. Just 10 minutes for the locations, but again, I don't know, just really lame way of doing the locations. Like a cheap version of doing it. I know Sean Clark does not like Justin Beam and the way they do it, which I agree with because they're fucking lame. Then this audio interview with the director, I'm trying to think when, yeah, Wes at Dead Pit Radio. So I guess you don't get paid if your stuff's on a Blu-ray. I should ask them, did you at least get a Blu-ray of this film? So, I mean, they use your interview with the director. And it says Wes, it doesn't say both him and Uncle Bill, so I don't know why. It says at the beginning here, if special thanks to Wes and Dead Pit Radio. I'm like, well, there's two guys, and but I guess, you know, Wes maybe hooked them up with the interview. It's an audio interview, just a picture of the orphanage as 58-minute interview. Santa's stocking full of outrage. Yeah, these are the quotes they got. We'll end it with this. These are the quotes they got. And if I can see it, because it's the text is pretty small. The former mayor of Norwalk, Connecticut says, I'm not one for censorship. I believe in free speech, free expression, but Christmas is sacred. To make one of these killer movies with Christmas and Santa Claus as a theme, that's going too far. Even though there was a Tales from the Crypt movie in the 70s where Santa was the killer, but no one said anything. Concerned parent, I want people to stop making movies of this sort. This world has enough graphic violence. Little children trust Santa Claus. Then act like a fucking parent. Parent your kid. Don't put him in front of a fucking TV and do it for him. Something has to be done. It's so ghoulish to do this near the holidays. The little children are the ones who are hurt. They're not the ones bitching about it. You are. Be a fucking parent, Kathleen. Eberhart, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The film pretends something extremely violent, something terroristic about Christmas. It's an intrusion against something we hold sacred. Give me a fucking break. What, you compare it to terrorism now? There aren't too many symbols left for kids. Santa is a peace-giving symbol. He's being destroyed. They're turning him into a homicidal maniac. They also use him for SJW bullshit with Santa Inc., but these concerned parents ain't saying shit about it. All because it wasn't meant for kids, just like the movie wasn't meant for kids. An invasion of children's dreams and fantasies. It's a form of child abuse. Okay. You know what's funny? Your first name, oh, it's John? I thought it said joke. Because your fucking comment's a joke. God, there's like 4 minutes of this. I'm not going to go through all this. Oh, Mickey Rooney. How dare they? I'm all for the First Amendment, but don't give me Santa Claus with a gun going to kill someone. The scum who made this movie should be run out of town. Funny enough, fate would lead him to make a movie that would be retitled to Silent Night Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker. Licking road tar off an automobile would be more pleasurable than watching Silent Night Deadly Night. Not since Friday the 13th, the final chapter, has there been a repulsive piece of garbage like this. Go lick the road then, while in traffic. One of those rare films that should be graded according to mood. No, according to blood type rather than content. Before the slasher film is done, 12 people have been murdered, 9 of them by a homicidal maniac and Santa Claus drag. People are impaled, beheaded, shot, garroted, stabbed, and axed. It's enough to make a vampire gag. Because, you know, God forbid a slasher film has slashing in it. God forbid that. Of course, skip over the first 45, 50 minutes of build-up of story. Silent Night is plain awful. Well, your review is plain awful. Unfortunately, Silent Night Deadly Night isn't even an honest abomination. No, it's an abomination with pious self-righteousness. Ken Tucker. What do you mean self-righteousness? It's telling a fucking story. Fuck do you want? Maybe you should start killing people in the first 10 minutes. Oh, they bitch about even more. Deadly Night could kill the spirit of the season for good. If it takes a movie like this to kill the Christmas season, then you're just fucking weird. I don't know. The special makeup effects are amateurish. I don't think they were that bad. I don't know what he's talking about with that. How are the special effects amateurish? The first face killer isn't sinister. Well, it's not supposed to be Jason Voorhees. These reviews make my fucking brain hurt. Ain't worth a pot to piss in, these reviews. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.